It's about position sizing. So on Tuesday, you said energy was overbought. If you had a 6% stake in something like SU, I don't know what that is, but you probably do. How did you manage the position from Tuesday to Thursday, and how much of a stake do you have now? Basically trying to figure out, okay, if you get to the top end of the risk range or something gets overbought, based on your position, how much do you take off?
Good question.
And are you selling too much, and therefore,
Okay, let's just be clear. Like, when something doesn't go down, you're always going to think you sold too much, right? Right? You get that? That's called FOMO, right? But the question is, and again, if you're only in this for a week, or you're like the real traders, the people that don't have a full investing cycle process, they don't know where the cycle or the quads are, if you are really in something for the very super short term like that, then I don't recommend you risk manage a position, because you have no other part of the process to go along with that. Now, if you have the setup like I've had, so again, let's just use our basic long versus short setup in macro. Again, our max position is 6, our medium position is 4, and our minimum position is around 2, and then on the shorts is a 3, 2, 1. So again, and that's just talking equity. Okay, I'm talking about equity right now. So if at my max on XLE and XLI and XLF, I actually got all these at one point in the last 2 weeks to my max, XLK. These are my 4 horsemen, right? They all got to here. So first day that energy was immediate term trade overbought, you take it from 6 to 5.5. That's selling 50 basis points. Next day, and again, if you were to sell, because I tell people to sell 0.25 to 0.5% of your position when it's overbought, right? So if you did get to your max, and you did have opportunities to do it, go back and review every macro show, and always go to the top 3 questions in the queue, and it's likely that that's where you should go to your max, okay? Same thing on the shorts. Like, you should have went to your max on gold when I told you to at 1,955. If you were trading gold like an equity. That's not fair. So what I would say is be fair and put GDX in there like a boss, right? So I went to GDX, top end of the range, 3%. So yesterday I covered 0.5%. Today on the open I'll cover 0.5%. Take out 100 basis points and we're here, right? Sometimes I step on that sucker's neck and say, wow, that thing actually looks even better now. It looks like it's going to go down faster because I actually was really right on this. So then you can take it up on the way down. That's when you get really good at this. That's called pressing the bets. It's not feeding the ducks. It's breaking their neck, right? That's how we have Thanksgiving.
And someone was asking about SPACs, and if you already answered it, just forgive me, just move on. But when it comes to volatility in names, how do you think about volatility in position sizing? So something that's like a SPAC that has a really wide risk range, or a lot of volatility with it, is that something that would ever get to be a large position in the portfolio, or is that something that you would just keep at a lower position because it has a larger?
So let's use some live SPAC ideas. Let's use, instead of these that we just did, let's see how we can just do the same thing. Let's say we're looking at SPACs in our max equity position, which we went to I would have gone to. I'm not allowed to personally buy it. If you're interested, we have a long-only partner that's doing a damn good job. I'm not going to tell you how good their performance is. I'm not allowed to really do that, but I'll tell you they're as good as Hedgeye's been for the last 3 months, okay? So if you care about that, support at Hedgeye or Jamie Bruno. I think it's Jay Bruno. You can look up what his email is. Jamie Bruno at hedgeye.com. So again, when we say, the other day when I said you got to buy Blade because it's at the low end of the range, that means that we're taking this position, EXPC, or whoever's hitting the buttons on that long only product should say, oh, Keith said low end of the range, I go big, right? I go big. EXPC is Blade. That's the SPAC that hasn't had a de-SPAC event yet, which is really interesting. For those of you that subscribe to the call, you'll hear Jay walk through. Actually, Blade had new news today, which is great. So again, this is our latest. I don't know if it's going to be like Mountain Pass. Please don't go there. They're all different, right? But you want to take it up the ladder. You don't want to take it down the ladder. Now, to Andrew's question, if the beta on EXPC was 1.5, so it's higher than the market beta, I'm not going to take it to 6. I'll take it to less than that because I got to beta adjust the position. So it might be 4. But in the case of EXPC, actually in a lot of these things, I was just looking at Gary Cohn's SPAC, for example, which looks like a great long. The betas are actually pretty low until they de-SPAC. Because the beta reflects the fact that most SPACs can't go below 10, right? So the risk range is like on CRHC, which I was looking at, the risk range on that is like 1005 to 1070. Now the risk range on Microsoft's wider than that on a percentage basis. So what you might think is going to be a higher beta, Andrew, because it's a SPAC, might actually be a very low beta, low risk. Don't forget you get your money back on a SPAC at 10. Okay? So if Gary Cohen sucks and he doesn't get it done, Gary, get it done, right? Get it done, brother. Or Apollo or any of these ones that are currently, they haven't announced like who their dance partner is. You know, the downside's 10, right? And all you have is time and space to wait for the announcement on what that company is going to be, and then the de-SPACing process, et cetera, et cetera. So you may be or may not be surprised on what betas are. Betas reflect the historical volatility, of course, of the thing that's ticking.